try this again. So I'm gonna do this video again because I'm actually doing it for YouTube. So the phone have been overheating because the information is just so hot. So I'm gonna try to assist my phone with keeping the phone out of the sun. So peace to y'all. And I'll just talk about what we're talking about. So we're talking about the moon, which is in a quarter moon phase, and it is waxing to a full moon. We have a full moon in Virgo coming up, but we're just dealing with the more subtle energies that bring about creation. And the overall goal of this conversation is for you to perceive the subtle vibration in the non-physical world, because the subtle non-physical is what allows you to create into the physical. And one of the things that we want to reference is speed, because the reason why we get into magic is speed. And one of the gateways to speed is Mercury, Ishu, Legba, or the god of the crossroads. And so when we reference crossroads, we want to manifest something fast, right? We want to create something fast. We don't want it yesterday, right? We want it today. We want it right now. So as long as you don't kid yourself about manifestation and, I can wait 5 years for it. And, 5 years from now, you don't even know what the world going to be like. So generally, the things that are in our being, we can have them now. So the purpose of this conversation is to get you in tune with those particular energies. So here we go. The moon is in the constellation of Gemini. It's leaving Gemini and headed into Cancer. Gemini reference the lovers. It references the soul. It references a relationship that a human being has with their soul. And generally, once you create that higher vibratory frequency of love between you and your soul, then you take that energy into Cancer and you begin to love your partners, your family, your children, your customers, clients, so forth and so on. And they're like, I love working with him. I love being in a relationship with him. That guy's a cool dad, because that person has a strong relationship with their soul and they give love. You can hear other stories in relation to that person's a piece of doo-doo, right? He ain't worth nothing, mean-spirited, bad energy, right? Because these people are very manipulative. They will take from you because they don't have a connection to the soul. And the reason why we treat each other bad is in Gemini. And what we really need to teach is Gemini concepts, right? We can't develop a stronger relationship with our finances, with our houses, with our cars, with our careers, and we don't know shit about our soul. So generally, bringing this conversation up in every video is kind of how I keep grounded in what I'm saying and the reason why I'm even clicking go live, right? Because generally the conversation is outside of having a deep connection with your soul and then moving into relationships and then moving into family. When you reference our people and just the people that I grew up with and the people that I knew, we was in relationships as early as I can remember, right? Playing house, right? Having boyfriends and girlfriends, right? Having baby daddies and baby mamas, and then husband and wives and things of that nature. But it was never a conversation in relation to, we got to build up our connection to the soul. And so what I was saying in the last video, conceptualize your soul as unlimited water, liquid, right? And then dive deep into the waters of your soul. right? Establish a deep, authentic relationship with your soul. And then when you enter relationships, this is the vibration that you are giving them. And also what it does, it lets you see beyond the veil, because your soul, stick with me, right? You got psychology, right? Psychology is the study of psych. What is psych? The soul, right? So then you have psychic, right? What is that? That's just a person who realizes their soul. And of course you can see beyond the veil, right? Of course you can see different energies and deities and things like that, because you have a deep relationship with your soul. And as long as you build up this relationship with the soul, then everything begins to work well for you. When you are outside of this, it's very difficult. Let's just say that. So in order to get the particular archetype, we just pull up this simple chart. All you have to do is type astrology, tarot, chart, and like Google images, this will come up. And so since we have cuspal energy, as I stated in other videos, I then go one step further and I deal with either the queen, the prince, or the king, right? Or the queen. Today, it just so happens we're dealing with the Queen of Cups. So I just want to make that simple and make it applicable in relation to what you may be experiencing in these days and times, or to level up and value a particular perception, which would be that of psychic, which would that be of following the soul. This is supreme in your individual walk, okay? So let's look at the Queen of Cups real quick. At astrology, tarot, like tarot, T-A-R-O-T, and then chart. Google it, and you will get all of the correspondences. Like I was saying in the last video, when you reference astrology or when you reference tarot, the root of all of those sciences are the Kabbalah. Now, the root of the Kabbalah is the science of the soul. This is why Kabbalah is spelt so many different ways, because each individual interprets it differently. So I challenge and I strive for everybody to interpret these spiritual sciences at a personal level to the point that it makes sense to you. But in order to do that, you got to put in the effort. You got to put in the work to actually get a notebook and a dictionary and understand this at a deep level. So when you then deal with the world, you realize that you are not the body. You are the soul, you are the consciousness, and even better yet, you are the perception. Now, the thing about the Queen of Cups card is that it is a matter of perception, and it's also a matter of reflection. The Queen of Cups gives you what you put out. So this is the reality of relationships that people don't actually want to deal with or really address. You are the direct recipient of your shit. You are a reflection of your entire life, because your perception is your actions. If you perceived at a different level, you would act at a different level, and that's bad nor good. If you could perceive the psychic truth of your partner, then that would be the indication on whether you should move forward with that person or not. See, the difference between this is thinking with your lower self. The reflection of thinking with your lower self is the actual energies that come about the lower self, which is a lack of commitment, overall passion, being there for that time, but not being in the future and dealing with the actual results of that passion. So ultimately, we can then take a look at our reflection as opposed to what we want this water to be, what we want the goddess to look like, and begin to just reflect on the pure goddess energy as it stands. That's a much more supreme directive. So another thing about intuition, the other thing about psychic powers is that the human cannot direct it, nor can it manipulate it. The best thing to do is to be aware of these particular functions. Your awareness of these entities, of these psychic powers, is your ability to listen and receive the downloads and the directions that create different kind of actions. At first, you may be a little confused because you're so used to following the ego. But give it 3 to 6 to 9 months of following your soul and then reflecting on your intuition and where it led you to. The thing about growth, the thing about development is that it takes time to grow and to develop. But this is why I say encapsulate and grow and understand what purity is. And how do you establish purity? Through water. And this is why the Queen of Cups holds the resonance of cups. She holds the two of, she's in the, I'll show you better than I can tell you. If you not look closer to me. If you look closely, the Queen of Cups is you see the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Cups, and then you also see the 10 of Swords. Those are the 3 cards that she rules over. So to get a full understanding of the Queen of Cups, you just simply identify what those 3 cups mean. So very simple stuff, but if you're trying to do everything else but tune in and tap in, it gets very complicated. So the 2 of Cups deals with love. The 3 of Cups deals with abundance. The 10 of Swords deals with ruin or the end of friendships, which is a natural process. Once you into this psychology or the study of the soul, you are a part of the 1%, because when you just look at people, they're not into it, right? They're only trying to receive directives. They're only trying to be motivated by the establishment. And the only thing you can do is listen to your soul and be directed on your personal journey. But the key to it is that you don't make it a point to separate yourself, right? Everything is everything. And generally, people will get to where they need to get to. And if you really want to change people, and if you really want to help people, you just become your best self. Because then one day somebody might say, look at Shaniqua doing the damn thing. How you been able to do the damn thing like that? And then you can reference, I was following my soul and following my directives. And these are the things that I suggest you to do like that. Sometimes people can look at you and see your growth and development still needs to take place, and that's what you'll perceive. And that's okay too. Because at the end of the day, if you're not growing, you're decaying. So that's why you got to be a little weary of people who tip their hats and say that they are a leader or a master and they have something to offer you. As opposed to the thing that I can offer you is to look closer at your surroundings, right? Pay very close to the subtle worlds. Play very close to not only your projections, but the people projections around you. Because the thing of projections is that they can sometimes feel like a prison. See, the thing about projection is like you may want to do something, but you don't do it. Y'all ever felt like that? Y'all ever felt like, damn, I want to do something, but I ain't doing it? And then you come up with a reason, it's because of this or it's because of that. But you want to do it, though. But when you it depends on how deep the projection is. Some projections is deep that you won't even do things that you naturally feel like you really want to do. Such as like being monogamous in a relationship and not cheating and things of that nature. Some of y'all really want to cheat, but some of y'all don't. Because y'all wives or y'all husband's projection is that strong on you. And how does a person project strongly? They buy you stuff. They take care of you. They give you food. They support you. They pick you up when you're low. Right? And because of that, say for instance, somebody saved you when you was down and out. Did they save you somehow wipe the hoe out of you or some shit like that? No, the hoe in you is still there. No matter what a person do for you. And if you don't like that hoe in you, you got to do something about that. You can't just feel like a person going to love the hoe out of you. Men and women. Right? A lot of this is about having a very clear understanding on your projections and what you want and other people's projections and how they match up. Because if projections clash, sometimes in relationship, there's a tension there. Y'all ever been in a relationship with somebody and you feel the tension? You feel the energy? And you're just like, right? And somebody either got to break the ice, y'all got to argue, or you just got to make up some excuse that you leave. My mama's sick. I'm going back home. I thought your mom lived in Buffalo. We in LA. Yeah, I know. I'm about to go over there tonight. I caught a red eye. Just making up shit. Because energy is physical and is real and is only a matter of perception. This is why you can't play with people with their energies. Because some energies are stronger than others. So what is the key to mastering relationships, mastering yourself, is purity. What is the most beautiful aspect of life? Purity. Cleanliness. In church, they say cleanliness is next to godliness, meaning that as pure as we can be with ourselves, with our intentions, with our minds, with our bodies. What is purity? The lack of desire. What does desire do? It taints the overall goal. You've had desires with people, but didn't fully go into the relationship fully knowing their energy and electromagnetic grid. So now you blocked. How many times you been in a relationship with somebody and your money was funny? Like you was having a good run and then you linked up with somebody and then your shit started tanking like Bitcoin. You like, wait a second. Because sometimes, and then vice versa, how many times, and this is a fact, y'all ever had a money-making friend and hung out with your money-making friend and then you ain't even, you just sitting around twiddling your thumbs and now you got opportunities to make money and shit. It's just like his energy is rubbing off on you. So, once again, this is more than likely going to happen, has happened, or is happening. So to get control of it, you have to renounce the desire that has tainted your water or your soul, because you do not have a horse jump on your back and you carry that horse a long distance. Your soul is a horse or a Pegasus. It's your vehicle. But you don't tell it what to do or how to fly. You understand how it flies. You understand it. And ultimately, it'll get you to where you're going to go quite naturally. Because it shares your same mind. It shares your desires. It has your wants encapsulated within its DNA. Meaning that it's going to magnetize what you want without you ever asking for it. Times a million. This is the whole point of not having desires and letting things magnetize or come to you once you realize who you are. But this is the message of purity. This is the message of not letting your personality dictate how you're going to treat a person. Oh, I'm an alpha, so I'm going to come in here and act da-da-da-da-da. Well, alpha, if I can perceive you correctly, you got childhood trauma that you ain't resolved. So you using this alpha exterior to just run roughshod on pussy because girls told you was ugly in high school. The thing about me and my spirituality, I was getting major buns before I ever said hotep. Before I ever said Hotep, ladies liked Kyrie. Wasn't never a thing for me. Even though I wasn't the most attractive kid in school. So generally, when you got guys who giving you advice, it's only for clout, so they can then use that clout for leverage to get buns. The only reason I know this is because I done had to turn down hundreds of bun invitations. Hundreds of bun invitations. Because I had this perceived clout, people thought that I was a particular type of way, that I was talking about Neptune explained, voodoo explained, daily energy readings. Never once was it saying I'm offering out D. I was even referencing my wife in every fucking video, making sure that people knew that I was married. That don't matter. This all deals with desire. This all deals. So Gemini, if you look at the card that rules Gemini, is the Lovers. And it's a man and it's a wife getting married. I didn't make it up. I didn't even want it to be this way. I just live life how it's handed to me, and that's what showed up, and that's what made sense. And once that connection was made and that commitment was unlocked, love, abundance, and wealth was thrown at my feet. So if you struggling on your spiritual journey and you doing it single dingle, but you know in your heart. Now, if you know in your heart, use a single dingle, mingle mangle, then live your best life. But if you can sense relationships will offer some kind of value, existential and intrinsic, it'll teach you some things about yourself, it'll allow you to reflect on your soul, then start purifying your mind, body, and soul, and just allow that partner to attract to you, be attracted to you. I'm attracted to you. You ever heard that before? I'm attracted to you. You very attractive. You feel that? You should feel that, right? Being attractive, right? Everybody can be attractive, magnetic. I'm feeling you, right? Meaning that her presence is the queen. Her emotional presence is the queen of your world, meaning that she ain't bought nothing. She ain't said nothing. She ain't got no degree. She ain't loud talked your ass to death. She walked into your life, and my wife's presence is she can walk into a room that I'm present in, and I feel that. And I'm comforted and nurtured and fed by that. It's a different level. So, if you are, and some deities are single dingle. Some goddesses, they walk with a serpent, right? Hecate, Hecate, Hygeia, Pombagira. They known to walk with serpents, meaning that, you know, there's ladies out here that'll fuck your girl way better than you can, bruh. And ain't wasn't nothing you could do about it or say about it. She like, I'm about to go hang out with Tara. Tara tear her out the frame, and you think that they just good friends. No, see, goddesses can be asexual and never feel the way that familial bliss is for them. They might just be down here to have fun and take control, right? And just live the way that they supposed to live. All I'm saying is be clear on that shit. Do you want to deal with men and women Do you just want to deal with women? Do you want to have a wife and kids? Do you not want to have, do you just want to just be single, dangle, mingle, mango out here? But affirm that shit and see that shit clearly, and that will remove your desire, and then you will be magnetizing that which you've affirmed in your being. If I wanted to be Playboy Cardi, then I would have magnetized that. But I magnetized the wife for a reason. And the thing about magnetization and the thing about law of attraction is that you got to know for sure that you want that shit. Because I know what it's like to be lonely, right? And I know what it's like to not be in a committed relationship, or I know what it's like to be with a woman that's abusive and hurtful. And then when you just wish and just hope for things to turn your way, and then they do turn your way, oh, you got to really appreciate that, right? You can't take it for granted, and you have to actually see that this is what you want. The difference between seeing and knowing this is what you want is that there's a level of lower self energy that gets brought into it, that we don't get to see this world clearly at all. We just look at the world based upon our physical eyes, right? So I have to deal with this. The energy that rules this card is Neptune. Neptune rules the element of water, and it also rules the pineal gland. It rules your spiritual sight. So in the realms of relationships, it's not that I couldn't get a relationship. It's just that when I look in my eyes, I see the beauty and the benefit of a relationship, right? I see it. It makes sense to me. And then another cool thing about open your third eye is that you can see when motherfuckers are coming for you that want to destroy what you have built. That's another key to this shit. So me, I'm like goddamn Captain America with the shield, blocking motherfucking Jezebels and mistress energy and shit. Cause it ain't no win in that. I tell my wife all the time, it ain't no win in me leaving. There's no win in that. There's no way. There's no win in me going outside of the relationship. And if I do got that energy, where is that energy coming from? So many times people be like feeling shit, but they don't address it. They don't speak to it. They don't have the sight and the throat chakra to begin to speak truth, right? So what tends to happen is, I love you, I only want to be with you, and then you find out he cheating. Because he really do love you. And he really do love the girl who is coming to destroy everything that y'all built too. His just third eye is crusty and blocked. Or, it's a lot of women that can cheat on their husband and ruin that relationship too, or really want to cheat. Let's talk about that. Hypergamy. Y'all ever heard of that before? Where the dude that you like, you really want to do better than the dude that you got. Or the dude that's really good to you, you just wish that he would just do better than what he's doing. As opposed to just appreciating him for who he is. Being happy that you're in wedded bliss, you just want to do better. So because you want to do better, you seek better, you perceive better, and you find better, and you get dick down better, right? But now this is all energy that you bring into your household. And of course it ruins the energy. Of course it breaks down the stability of the union, because that's what it was supposed to do. The third eye is a weapon. The third eye is the eye of Ra. The eye of Horus. It is his weapon. It's how he fights. And so I'm saying all of this because none of y'all bring spirituality into your relationships. I had to see the fucking Jezebels. You gotta see the motherfuckers, right? Because what's the reality? If a woman was serious about being in a relationship with me, what would she do? She would be real cool with my wife, be real open and honest about how she feels and all of that shit. She wouldn't specifically talk to me on the low, sly sneak if she know that I got a wife. Because ultimately, if we do something like this, it will hurt my wife if I don't tell my wife, right? But the person that's trying to get into the relationship, she don't give a fuck about how your wife feel. The person that's trying to get into your relationship don't give a fuck about how your husband feel. Thus, if your third eye isn't open and you got lower self shit that you haven't resolved and you thinking with your little wee-wee, what do you think is gonna happen? Or your hot kitty cat? What you think the outcome gonna be? 10 times out of 10, you ain't even thought about the emotional impact of cheating on your partner, what it could actually do. You only thinking of what the feeling that you're going to experience when they give you the daddy long strokes. But when your third eye is activated, you thinking more of the longevity of the brand. You thinking more longevity of the lineage. I know that my wife deal with a whole bunch of shit. She don't need to deal with me cheating on top of all of the... we got 4 little ass kids. You think I want to channel that energy to my children? It's certain things that I see from this perspective of having the third eye activated is that I can't bring that energy. And the reason that I'm referencing it is because a quarter moon in Gemini is called the liar's moon. It's called the liar's moon. And so when I look at the world, I can cause I'm doing the spiritual shit, right? I'm doing the spiritual talking shit, right? Meaning that's the game that I play. I'm on the court. I might not get the most minutes. I might not score the most points, but I'm definitely in the game. Meaning that you're going to have to hoop with me. You're going to have to pass me the ball, right? And so sometimes when other people is on the court, you can see who got game and who not. Like, I kind of feel like I'm LeBron when I get on the spiritual court. And I am from Akron. I am a kid from Akron. I was born in 1984. I do kind of feel like when I get on the court, pass me the ball. I got it, my guy. I can help you. And then I know if I don't want you on my team, you ain't supposed to be in the league. You ain't supposed to be hooping. But it's a lot of people that want to inspire you and delude you to perceiving the world how they perceive it. Oh, you need to do this. No. See, if a person tell you that you need to do something, it don't matter what it is, family. If they say, oh, you need to take part in this blank. What are they saying? They saying that they need to do that shit, not you. Not you. If you was to attune to your deeper inner self and focus and listen to it, you would know exactly what you need to do on a moment-to-moment basis. You wouldn't need me or nobody. Right? I'm only here to tell you that. I ain't here to tell you to follow me and do the shit that I'm doing. That's wild as fuck. I'm saying open up your third eye. Right? And when you open up your third eye, you're going to be able to perceive things in a true and factual way. And you're going to be able to see the people who are full of shit, and generally you see how they coming at you. And don't try to get into a relationship with my wife, because generally my wife is the Queen of Cups. She is my Queen of Cups. So she's not going to let energy come in and destroy it too. That's why you wouldn't talk to her too. I get that part. She be like, well, I feel like it's my fault. I be like, no, it's not your fault. You perceived the bullshit and you got rid of it. That's what Scorpions do. They warriors. They lovers and they warriors. And you cannot, Scorpios are perceptive beyond their mind. Generally, they feel. They don't even think. They feel at the deepest levels beyond thought. When you're in a relationship with a Scorpio, you got to begin to trust her feelings or his feelings. If you got a man that's a Scorpio and he don't got his own business, that's weird. I'm gonna just put that out there. How you a Scorpio and you ain't got your money together, fam? You need a reading ASAP. Okay. So to understand this energy, man, it's like, it sound crazy and it sound like I'm bouncing around, but you got to understand that the Queen of Cups and this energy is very deeply centered on who lying and who telling the truth. Who's lying and who's telling the truth. And if you feel as though you don't know or you can't tell, then this is where your perception comes in. This is when your soul comes in. This is where it comes. It's a matter of life and death for you to be psychic. Being psychic is your weapon out here. Niggas got guns, niggas got knives, but people don't got their third eye activated, and that's the most supreme weapon. Your spiritual energy, your non-physical self is a weapon. It's a force. It allows you to see and to feel and be on a different type of level that you can see things 10 times ahead. So the person that's coming at you with a gun, he don't even stand a chance because he getting pulled over by the cops the moment he think about attacking you. You see how that work? He getting into a car wreck. He on his way to come attack you, and then a goddamn dog come and just jump into his car and maul his ass. He like, damn, I shouldn't even mess with this person because I done got into a car wreck, got pulled over and attacked by a dog. I'm going to just redirect my whole life. I can't mess with this person no more. But once again, it's going to be hard to run a full vehicle on a single cell battery. Now, in the car that I'm on right now, it got a positive charge and it got a negative charge. And that is my chariot. That is what got me to where I'm at today. Wherever I'm at today, wherever I'm going today is going to be the fact that I've committed to my wife. I'm loyal without question to my wife. Have I made mistakes in the past? Yes. Do I make them same mistakes? Fuck no. That's just the facts. Right? And I know a lot of people going to talk about, this spiritual stuff and this miracle stuff. But if you horny at night, fam, if you horny at night and you don't got nobody to touch you in your private parts, it's going to be hard to raise your fucking chakras up. Because your lower self is going to be like, no, I still want some D. I still want some gushy. You trying to take everybody's class. You trying to learn all this hot shit. Well, let me tell you the hottest shit I know. Positive and negative charges. Positive and negative charges. Of course, that ain't what nobody want to hear. But I'm only speaking from experience. I'm only talking about how I know life works, like helps and assists and values and elevates. It's being in that positive and negative space, honoring it, being committed to it, All of this spiritual stuff is validated through my relationship. I don't know no vehicle that just travels off a positive charge. I don't know no vehicles that just travel off a negative charge. I don't know no chariots that got one-legged horses. I ain't never seen a horse just travel on one leg. I seen it four legs. It's going back and forth. It's a pattern, and it's more powerful than my 2 legs. So I take that horse's 2 legs. I get 2 horses. I can go all over the world. I can go anywhere in the galaxy because I understand the power of positive and negative energy. I understand the charge. I understand the activation that takes place. Another thing that I understand is that I value my wife's emotions as they stand. I don't try to reason or logicize how she feels. If I've stuck my little wee-wee in it, that's a commitment that I got to honor and stand in. Because if I take that away, I'm unplugging the charge. And if the charge is unplugged, it's like if y'all seen American Gods, when old girl was carrying Sweeney and she tried to give Sweeney his coin, but she missed and the coin was just laying there and she was just laying there. They both was just dead, right? Meaning that if the connection is not there, who's to say? Like, it's like unplugging some shit. I can't predict nothing now. It's over. The hood mystic is no more. I am the hood truck driver. That's a single dude. Just trying to get some vagine on my off days. Okay? And so where did I see this at? I'm gonna end with this. I seen this in full-fledged with this Derrick Jaxn thing. I seen this in full-fledged, and it was like, damn, that's crazy. Because here you got a person that preaches fidelity, faithfulness, how guys are. And brother man was talking about himself the whole entire time. He shadow projected his way into millions of dollars. He shadow projected his way into millions of dollars. So now he getting clowned. Now he getting trounced and things of that nature. And I say, shit, that could have been anybody. Because I'm sure that pussy was sweet when he was getting it. I'm sure it was delectable, right? It ain't so sweet now when you were the butt of everybody's joke and you everybody's parody and people looking at you like, I spent thousands getting your advice and you wasn't even practicing what you was telling me. So I feel like everybody is experiencing this in their own personal way, where they aren't being 100 in their relationships. They're not being 100 with their crowds. Yeah, I can help you do all of this spiritual shit, but I'm lonely at nighttime and I want somebody to touch me. But I can know everything about spirituality, but I don't know the first thing about building a relationship. Well, how that work? Relationships is easy. It's all about being attractive. You don't got to do no spell to be attractive, last I checked. You ain't got to take nobody class to be attractive, last I checked. You ain't got to get no reading to be attractive, the last I checked. So we can figure this love out without the spiritual mumbo jumbo. I say that the spiritual mumbo jumbo is actually the block Because now people want to have a person that have a particular vibration, as opposed to you done already had people be magnetized to you. You done already seen your reflection. Why are you trying to change it now? What I'm saying is, your biology is much more supreme than what you thinking about all the time, or what other people is telling you. We get back into the space of purity, because now is what the Bible say and what church say and what the Lord say. But it wasn't none of that when you was making money. So what tends to happen is, when people get negative feedback from the stuff that they've been doing, they go and cop deuces and do apologies or take their money and run. And all I could be like is, shit, I told you so. But I ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna still be here on Thursday talking about chakras with Prime Harmonic, the Sacred Serpent, just keeping it regular, just observing and being perceptive, and knowing at the end of the day, the most supreme thing is developing a relationship with your soul, and then having that to offer in your relationships, right? Because you can listen to everybody tell you about some shit that they not even doing. Ain't that funny? Motherfuckers telling you how to be spiritually right and exact, and I'm sure they not doing that shit because they probably doing back-end computer work. Can't do back-end computer work and be sovereign now, can you? You a slave to your artificial intelligence and your books and your accounting, and you probably done got some loans out for shit. You got to pay on your loans and things of that nature. Is very stressful when you turn your spirituality into a hustle. Very, very stressful. And trust me, I know. Because like I said, I'm in the game. I'm playing. I'm like, my game like Robert Parrish or somebody. I got old man games sometimes. Or I probably got LeBron James games. I could stay in the game for a long time and still be effective. You feel me? I can affect the game in multiple ways. I can get a triple-double, and I can play defense. Feel what I'm saying? So, with all of that being said, I'm letting you know that I'm committed and loyal to the spiritual information. And where does it come from? It comes from a deep and intimate bond that I have with my wife, that I work hard at not letting energies from the outside destroy it. Because as you can see, that shit can happen, right? I would be damn. I can't have nobody have my wife looking stupid in the space of, yes, the hood mystic does talk a lot of shit on how he is faithful, but he did slide some D to the stripper the other night. That shit matters. Not what people think, because if that was to happen, that was to happen. But where it matters is that my wife would be affected negatively. And not only my wife, because my wife has direct connection with my children. So she may channel that hurt and pain to my children. And so you got 5 people that's suffering from my selfish acts, because I was thinking with my lower self. But I work hard at purifying my lower self, that I don't even have no thoughts. And I can see a Jezebel coming from a mile away. Unlike Mr. Jaxn, who thought that he was going to slide in these chicks and they was going to keep it on the low. Right? He thought that what was he thinking, right? He was just going to beat it up. he thought he was going to beat it up so good that she was going to keep it quiet. No, these chicks out here coming for blood, fam. So you got to be very, very careful and very, very cautious, especially if you a man of legacy, right? It's different when you a man trying to, get a notch under your belt. But at this time, I'm raising young gods. So it's very important that they see that their father is not loves them. That's the hopes. Anyways, but I'm gonna end this broadcast, and hopefully you were a little bit more enlightened than you were before you tapped in. Tune in to Chakra Nova, which will be taking place this Thursday on YouTube. Thursday evening with the guys. We'll be talking about the inner child in relation to chakras, and Serpent got a whole bunch of correspondences that we like to have fun with as well. So it's chakras all the time, and Thursdays on YouTube, Thursday evenings on YouTube is where you can tune in if you want to get the lecture series, if you want to pre-order the book. ColumbianExchange.com. Help a brother out. You feel me? Still working on that. Working on the glossary. So, which is fun. Just taking out the major words and defining it. I'm just trying to give people the best book that I possibly can. So I'm going to work on this book every day until the end of March. And just wherever I'm at then, I'll just turn it in. And then once it gets pressed, I'll be sending out those pre-orders. So thanks for everybody that already got pre-orders. And if you haven't got one, go get yours right now. All right. Peace.